Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back for another Manor Lords video with the Terminator. And today, I've just been through essentially 5-6 hours of playing through this demo, trying to get to a point where I've unlocked everything that's possible to unlock, gotten every commodity, material, try to expand as much as I can to essentially build up the level 2 houses that you can have access to at a certain point when you've unlocked a bunch of clothing and food and entertainment, things like that. So this is what I've been doing, and I wanted to get to a point where I can make this video and show you guys what it looks like to have done pretty much everything that you can possibly do in the Manor Lords demo. So just going into the overview for the town, this is the town of Reichenfurt, and as you can see, we've got a lot of houses with carrots in the back. That's the only commodity that you can access as the plot in these houses. We've got the manor and the tax collector over here on the hill, kind of overlooking the town a little bit in the distance, which is quite cool as well, I thought. And as you go deeper into the town, you can see we've got the farm over here. Each field is doing something a bit different, I guess. I've got a crop rotation going on, so it's a mix of wheat, flax, and barley every year essentially, and that feeds into the kind of circulation of flax that turns into yarn or cloth, and then the same thing with the foods going into flour that turns into bread, and the barley going into our brewery here, the Reichenfurt brewery, that feeds into the tavern over here. And I've kind of centered the town around the tavern and this church here, which kind of provide the main sources of faith and entertainment for your people, up your public order and happiness a lot. So I've got 74% approval here, which is pretty good, to be fair, because you start off pretty low, and that goes even further down to like 16-ish% until you start making things a little bit more positive. So this is what the town looks like in a nutshell. Church, tavern in the center, farm over in the kind of towards the forest area, because this was the most the highest fertility kind of area in my region, which is kind of the below section of the map here. I had access to berries, and which, you know, I don't quite use now that we've got a lot of food. All this food feeds into, you know, the 4,000 crop that we have, of which 2,000 has been able to, you know, produce a bunch of food. So it's pretty wild how much food we're able to produce in the late game in this demo. It's actually fantastic, and I've even managed to be able to start upgrading the houses. So let's go into third person for a second here. So if you look over, let's have a look over here. So if you look over here, this is the level 1 house, and it comes with this kind of, you know, primitive kind of roof that barely covers anything, and it's a decent, very decent looking building, don't get me wrong, but you want to get to the highest limit in the demo, which is the level 2 burger of the house, which is this, and it just looks absolutely stunning. So I wanted to show this off first and foremost, because I know that it's kind of the final thing you can unlock in the game at the moment in the demo, and it takes a lot to get there, to unlock the entertainment with the tavern and a few sources of food and clothing as well, which took a long time to kind of manage, but we got there in the end. And yeah, so this is something that you guys can get into and unlock if you manage to get all of those boxes ticked off. So just looking at those boxes for a second, food, which you can get a lot of, to be honest, when you get to the point where you can get the bread, and you've got berries, and you've got carrots, and you've got all sorts of things that all feed into that. You've got the water and fuel that's obviously ticked off early on. The clothing is a mix of, so if you go into the Weaver workshop, it's a mix of cloth, which is made from flax, and yarn, which is made from wool. So that's kind of where that feeds into. And then, yeah, finally you got the entertainment with the tavern and the church over here that provides faith. So that will unlock that level 2 house for you. And yeah, essentially every other building has been built here, from the brewery to the large granary here as well, which is quite cool. I mean, you get to a certain point where a single granary and a small size of it just isn't working anymore. So this is the kind of large-scale granary that you can expect when you get to that. We've got marketplaces here as well that provides, you know, distributes the food and the firewood and the various clothing types as well. So I recommend anyway that you get a lot of these going, especially when you get access to clothing, because sometimes the game tends to just distribute one kind across multiple stalls. So you want to build as many as you can basically to have them get access to the various different types of food, etc. So that's just a little recommendation there. But that is the marketplace right there. Every plot pretty much has access to the kind of gardens, which you can grow food in, which is quite cool as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I got this mining pit, which created the tools that you're able to upgrade these houses into having these plots. So that's just an FYI as well. And that's essentially it. Yeah. So this is the finished kind of town essentially that you can get to. You can keep going, to be honest. Like this is just, you know, maybe 10% of the total land mass that you have access to in this particular region. But this is what essentially about 5 hours of Manor Lords leads to. And we've got about 40 houses here, 45 houses. We've got tons of, you know, food being produced, trade being done between us in terms of selling a lot of food and grain and getting in things like sheep, etc. So lots to do, to be honest, for a demo. The 5-6 hours of content is pretty amazing, and with how polished and stable this is, it's been pretty amazing. The one fantastic feature, again, that I cannot get enough of, I mentioned this the other day, is the visual quality, the stability and balance of this game. It's absolutely brilliant, and you get to a point where you can build everything and just sit here and appreciate the beauty and the visual quality of Unreal Engine 5 and how well the developer Slavic Magic has done to capture medieval times in this fantastic city builder, resource gathering kind of simulation. And I wouldn't say it's hyper realistic, but it's quite realistic in how you have to manage the people and grow your town, and visually, especially how historically researched the visual quality of all these buildings in this town can end up being. And that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to show off what the finished demo essentially looks like in Manor Lords right now. It is available for the next week, so if you haven't tried it yet, get in there and check it out. I really hope you enjoyed the video today and found it informative. If you did, do give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about Manor Lords, the demo so far, and if you've played it. You know, I'd love to hear what you think about all this in this fantastic demo. So thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more Manor Lords content, strategy game content just like this, and I'll see you next time.